Hello, welcome to the video tour of the exterior. I just washed it. It's still dirty. So here you can see the clear coat. It's very, very scratched. You could buff it out with some scratch remover and it would look better, but my plan, if I keep it, is to do the bed liner paint and color match it to the factory blue, so I don't have to paint all the jams. I priced that out at, I think it was less than $1,000 for Raptor liner spray on. This steel is bolted to the rocker seam. It just provides a little bit of protection from rocks when you're off-roading and you know, go over a large obstacle. I've smacked this on some rocks before and it holds up pretty well. There's a nice rust hole. There really isn't any rust forward of about here. All the rust is pretty much limited to the rear of the rocker panels and the rear fender. The frame was has some kind of coating on it, so there's no rust on the frame at all. And before I installed the floors, I welded in and patched a few rust holes that it had along this seam on the other side, as well as some of the body mounts I cut out and welded new sheet metal in. So it's all taken care of underneath the floors. This is a dent. I have a replacement fender in the same color, not installed, because this one's a little creased. I have a brand new bumper for the front end in gloss black that matches the new rear bumper, not installed. Here are the tires. They've got about 7,000 miles on them. New alloys. I really like these tires. They're very, very quiet on the freeway, but they also provide a lot of grip off-road, especially on rocks. Dana 60s front and rear with posi. These axles are pretty much indestructible. The rear axle was rebuilt about 7,000 miles ago. New bearings and seals. I have another step that's gonna go right here. Just haven't installed it. Here's my swing out tire carrier. And everything's frozen. Yeah, it's like 15 degrees out right now. Not super fun. I have this cable lock on it just so I can keep a padlock on it when it's parked for a long time, so no one steals anything. Oh, I suppose I should show you the rear storage. Alright, so we got two Costco golf cart batteries. Those are less than a year old. You get a total of 210 amp hours, which is quite a bit. It'll last a couple of days running all sorts of stuff before you have to recharge it. 1100 watt inverter, smart battery isolator that prevents the batteries from draining the engine battery when you're parked. It disconnects them. This drawer will come all the way out. You just have to open the door all the way and then you can get all the way back there. I didn't put door panels on the rear because I like all the storage space. You get to shove random stuff. Oh, this is for the rear light bar that's not hooked up yet. Up on the roof. Roof box, solar shower, awning. This awning pops out about 6.5 feet, I think. These are Smitty built drip rail roof rack clamps. Nice little walkway. You can put the bench cushion up here and lay up here, look at the stars. Tons of storage in the roof box. I'm not going to open it. I'm not even going to climb up here because it's all icy. That light bar is super, super bright. That cross member has some surface rust on it. It could definitely be recoated. It would be a good idea at some point. Okay, here's the biggest piece of body damage. This panel got smacked at some point. I pulled it back out, but it's definitely not straight, and there's quite a bit of rust on it too, so this should be cut out and fixed at some point. Bushwhacker makes some really nice fender flares that covers a lot of this up. I was thinking about getting those and just kind of trimming this out. It would be a lot cheaper and easier than welding in new fenders, and it would also provide more room for larger tires. This was all cut out and welded back in because this seam had rusted away, so I chopped that out and bent some sheet metal to go in there, and it's all covered in seam sealer and bed liner. There's another little rust hole starting right there. The seams that this is bolted onto, those are fine. Those really don't have any rust on them. This has the 5.4 liter Triton, which is more than adequate. You don't need a V10, you don't need a diesel. If you're towing a large trailer, yeah, a diesel would be nice, but this thing will go up a mountain at 70 miles an hour, no problem. Plenty of power. This is not a super heavy build, so the 5.4 is more than enough. Smooth, plenty of power. Steering isn't loose or anything. I mean, it's pretty sloppy. Just that's the nature of a 7,000 pound van with a straight axle on the front. It's just going to be kind of sloppy, but it's very manageable on the freeway. Plenty of power. Gets you up to freeway speeds in no time at all.